Okay, you got me today driving near all the fields that are starting to be reaped, and our parsha also deals, Parsha Kedoshim, with the mitzvah tzedakah, or what we call Matnot Aniyim, the gifts we need to give to poor people from the fruit we reap from the field, from the wheat or the barley. And what's very interesting, the Torah tells us the Matnot Aniyim seem to be very weird. Instead of the Torah telling us give 10% to the poor people, 10% of your produce to the poor people, the Torah says, well, when you're reaping the wheat from your field, so whatever's left at the end, leave it for the poor people, pe'ah. Or if you're just cutting the wheat and a few sheaves of wheat fall, so leave them for the aniyim, leket. Or Sefer Dvarim is added on also that if you forget a whole bundle of wheat, you need to leave it shechicha, you need to leave it for the poor people. Why does the Torah define it in such a weird way? Why can't the Torah just tell us, give a certain percentage, and that's it? Why make it so random and unexpected? And I think the Torah is teaching us here a very, very important lesson. The Torah is teaching us that as much as it's important to give to poor people, we know there are a lot of wealthy people or wealthy companies that they make a whole issue out of who's going to get the money they're giving out. They have all the non-profits queuing up and sending in applications, and part of their thing is they can control who's getting the tzedakah, who's getting the money, and they can promote certain agendas they have, and they can decide who they prefer over the other. And that, which means is that people who have money, or the companies that have money, have a very strong sense of control. As much as they're giving tzedakah, they feel that they're in control. And here HaKadosh Baruch Hu is teaching us a very, very important lesson. He's teaching us that not only do we need to give tzedakah to the needy, the money is not ours to choose who's going to get it. Therefore, the Torah says, just when you're reaping your field, when you're reaping the produce from your field, just whatever's left at the end, that's what you give to them. Randomly, the pe'ah, whatever's left, that's what it is. And and the Mishnah says that if one person wants the balabait to divide it between all the poor people, and the other ones they say kol hakodem zocheh, whoever comes first come, first serve. So they are right, because the balabait, the person who owns the land, is not the person who decides who gets. And the same thing, the Torah says, well, if it falls, you didn't plan it, that goes to the poor people. Or if you forgot something, you didn't plan to give that bundle to poor people, but that's what goes to them. You're not really in control. And that, I think, is a very, very important lesson to internalize, that all the blessing, any wealth we get from HaKadosh Baruch Hu is really not ours to control. It's a bracha from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, so that we can be a vessel to give it to the people who need it. And it's not something that's there to give us more power or more control. So may we use whatever we get in the best way and do good things with it, and remember that everything is really from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shabbat Shalom.